Oh! It fell over again.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay,
That's
so that's
crazy.
that. How's the pan look? Copacetic as far as schmutzability?
Yeah, schmutzy. Copacetic as far as schmutzability. That's a really good. That's a really good saying.
What in the hell are you saying?
Yeah. So this is a turbo Corvair engine.
1963 model.
63. So we installed we had bearings coated by line to line.
Main and the rods, because the crank it had wear, but it wasn't out around. So we just took up the extra clearance with the line to line.
It was really, really tight. So we had to sand those down quite a bit because you can sand this coating, which is very nice. I mean, so you can hand fit everything. So now the bearings are all hand fit on the mains and the rods. And we installed the rods, we installed the pistons and the cylinders with those as well. And now we've put on the head, torqued that down. Once we installed the heads, next we need to install the pushrod tubes. So we're gonna take all of these. We're gonna do a funny little assembly trick where you put the guy in, you put the tube through, make sure that the wide one is going into the head. You put the thing through. Then, while it's here, about ready to go in, then you put the O-rings on. Otherwise, you
can help yourself a lot.
You'd have to wedge the tubes all in there and then put the head on at the same time if you have the O-rings on already. It would be very annoying. So my dad showed me this little trick where you can install the O-ring that goes into the head before you install the O-ring that goes into the case, so that when you insert the pushrod tube, it goes right in.
Notice the letter U stamped in there. That needs to be facing you when you put this together. It should be upside down and facing you.
So like that.
Yes.
For a little bit of context, these are the pushrod guide plates that are installed below the head nuts and the rocker studs. Even though we did do the outside ones first and then...
I do a different setup. This is out of How to Keep Your Corvair Alive. I like it better.
Okay.
Okay, starting on the center cylinder. It's diagonal, this to this, and then this to this, and this to this. And then you reverse, you go
that to that.
This to this.
And that to that.
That to that.
Oh, okay.
Almost like
I can remember that.
And this is very tedious. And I have the right tool.
Is there like a double? It's like a double.
Yeah, but
double
that's
size one?
for the stock head nuts.
I get some carpal tunnel in my thumb or something. Doing that for so long.
Pay attention. Please pay attention.
Pay attention.
See that little hole? It's only on one end. You see the shiny mark? That's where the pushrod guide lives. That hole is a little side oiler. That has to be on the head end.
Needs to go up this way.
Up, up, up. Don't put it this way or you'll ruin your valve guides and the whole valve train will die.
So we're putting assembly lube on these push rods. And you can never have enough assembly lube. Blob, blob, smear. And down it goes. Whee! Down the hatchet. I can't see the camera without a mirror. So, this is the next day.
This is the next day. We've established that we had some very screwed up rockers on this engine. And so now we're going to start on number 6. And we're going to work our way through the firing order. The cam is already set to that position. These push rods are down. This intake, number 4 intake, and number 2 exhaust are both open.
Well, so you polished these, but you polished these on the end.
There were 8 that were screwed up, just screwed up.
So,
I like the original ones the best because they don't break very readily. The ones from Clark's are aftermarket, made in Taiwan or somewhere. They're heavier, they're thicker steel, but they do break. And that's not after 30 years of use. I'd prefer if we would just do the Jessels on everybody's stuff, simply because you probably can't ever break them.
No.
They do require some special other items, such as heavy-duty custom push rods, and then a valve cover with a spray bar to oil the valve springs, which also oils all the rocker mechanism at the same time. But that winds up just being an expensive alternative, but in the long run, probably the best alternative.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now, we have to double check as we do this little build, we have to double check the balls, make sure that the balls aren't gnarly looking, and we just work through this and get them on there and get them adjusted. And
Yeah, I think the adjustment is gonna be very cool.
yeah.
Because the adjustment is difficult or annoying, but if you do it this way,
But they're actually not.
it's not.
And I don't ever do them hot. I never do them hot. Chevy never did them hot. They didn't build these engines and then turn around and start the engine and and then pull the valve covers and adjust everything up. Anyway, our favorite assembly lube, as always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already on the push rod.
Push rod.
So these push rod, the lifters are not pre-filled. I never pre-fill. Don't ever pre-fill. They need to be empty. When I rebuild them, I put a little bit of ATF in there for the lubricant, but nothing more. You could put straight 30 weight, a little bit, just a drop or two. But you want to be able to compress them, and I can feel, I can't push on that because it's got lube. I can feel it pushing down. But the reason you want that is on a fresh build engine, you want the lifter to not be full, so that the piston can move down and it reduces the pressure between the lifter base and the cam to help the cam break in initially. And then when it builds up pressure, the cam and the lifter have rubbed enough that they begin to burnish each other, and then they get happy and they last a long time. So if you fill the lifter up fully and then do all this, then you've got a fully pumped lifter. It's hard, and you have higher initial pressures between the lifter and the cam on initial fresh build startup. So what I do, this is really weird for me because this is definitely the wrong way around, but I want to try to show you guys how we do these. So I lift this, I know the push rod's in the center of the lifter, and I think William's going to do something to the camera so we'll get some vibration. Okay, so let's go. I lift the nose of the rocker up off the valve. Let me get this. Oh, that feels good.
It fell over again. The camera's shaking too.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm lifting the nose up to see how much farther I've got to go. I want about 2.5 threads showing on the rocker stud. If you have a lot more than that, or not enough, or not near that amount, then you have something wrong on your adjustment. So I keep playing with this until I get real close. Now, you want to make sure that the rocker's not kicked off this way or this way, because it'll give you a false reading because you're catching on the edge of the valve. You want it to be square to the valve, and then, I don't know how to, but I rotate the push rod. No, I can't do it from that way.
You get to cross your arms to do it? Okay, guys, now while you're
basically,
doing this, cross your arms.
Cross your arms, go, yeah.
Cross your eyes, cross your arms.
I'm rotating the push rod with my fingers and tightening this, and there'll become a point where, right there, the push rod stops rotating. That is zero latch. If you...
Oh, you can do it a little bit.
Yes, that's what people get in trouble with.
But there's friction.
Yes, there's friction. That's what people get in trouble with. They feel that they can still rotate, they tighten a little more, and then they can feel like they rotate, and they keep going until they bottom out the plunger and the lifter, and then they go, oh, I got zero lash, and they turn it at half a turn, and then they've opened the valve, and the engine will never start. So we're right at zero lash. I'm going to give it 1/2 turn, quarter at a time. There's 1/4, there's 2/4. That valve is set, period. And notice I've got about 2.5 threads exposed. It's on the money.
Perfecto.
Now let's do another one.
So we adjusted the rest of the rockers the same way, and that's why this is at 50x speed, because we had to flip the engine over 6 different times. All right, that's all of them done. He's over there rinsing something off. I don't know what it is. Yeah, we're already done. We got it all done.
Awesome.
They all look good. They're all cool.
The nuts have the right amount of threads exposed.
Yeah, it's good.
Half a turn, ready to put covers on.
All right, guys. New camera angle we found 2 seconds ago. So off camera we put on the valve cover, which this is a Clark's valve cover that had 4 holes, so we had to drill 2 more in the sides. Anyway, now we're going to
set it. We're going to rotate it, set it on its bell housing, so we can finish with the oil filter housing, oil pan, oil pickup, and then ultimately the blower housing. I got to change the bearing out.
And you already put on the oil pump
housing. Yes.
Off camera, I think too. It's just a bunch of bolts.
And then we're going to pull the pin, rotate this 90 degrees. We don't even need to put the pin in. We just need to rotate it because we're going to slide this thing off. That's it. It ain't gonna fall. Can't slide out of there on its own. And so I don't get
that's what I was saying before.
Lube on.
Oh man.
Well, because I'm gonna pull this up right against my belly.
You gotta keep his Summit shirt nice and clean.
Yeah. So really, we need to just grab it, pick it up, go over that way, and set it on the table.
You want to put the table here and just?
But it's just gonna come out of the sleeve, and then we're gonna go up.
Yeah. Okay. That was not very choreographed, so.
No.
Yeah. I guess you can see this cool mount here.
Yeah, this is actually a copy or kind of an odd representation of a factory build fixture that was in a factory photo that I was looking at. Yeah. And I like the fact that it holds one case half, so you can set the crank in, set the cam in, and check your timing. If you do it on a fixture where you're using the bell housing or something on the end, well, then you got the cam and crank gear up against that crap, and you can't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So we got to put a valve cover on
as well.
Got some NGK plugs installed and torqued. A couple steps cooler since this is a turbo, and with the big valve heads, it's going to make more horsepower. So we can put the oil filter housing on.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the joy of painting.
And usually you do this with the engine horizontal, but hey. And these are the self-locking bolts, since this tends to be
an area of leakage.
Okay, we need to get the oil pan and pickup. Okay, we're gonna do this too, guys. This is see, these are still from Auto Parts. They must have got an absolute pile, but they got Clark's numbers on here. But it was Blake Swafford came up with all this stuff from Auto Parts years ago, in the 70s. It was just the primo stuff you could buy at the time. But anyway, somehow the design has changed a tiny bit, and this notch is supposed to clear a part of the case, and it does not. It's extremely difficult to get. I don't think you can get this on without, you have to grind some of this away. So we have to rotate this around so you can see it.
And we got a Clark's oil pan.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you know, it's decent looking.
A pickup truck. But it's just going to be in this box, so give me a second. Let me give you a hand. Oh, you got it.
Rotated.
So I'm going to grind. I have to grind this back and this back here.
Really?
Mark it. Yeah.
But it hits the casting?
It hits the case, yeah.
How is it designed wrong?
I don't know. It's stamped on a die, so.
But it's what, it was stamped wrong in the 70s and it's still wrong?
No, the original Auto Parts you have to grind.
Well, what the hell happened?
This is the Clark's. I don't know. Whenever they must have just sent one out to somebody and they, I don't know.
Redid it wrong.
Redid it wrong, and everyone's wrong. Everyone I've ever gotten from Clark's is wrong. You got to grind on it to get the fit. So
that's Clark's for you.
Anyway, let me find this bolt. That's the wrong one.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the joy of painting.
You don't have to put it out there. There's no gasket. It's just straight. Oh. Then, yeah, we'll have to wipe that off.
Right here.
And then,
big hammer.
Ow! Oh, damn it.
Do that. Oh, there you go.
Damn hammers are just coming apart.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Pieces of crap.
Yeah, we need to get new rubber hammers.
How about a flooring hammer? You know what I gotta do? I gotta blow that shit out.
Yeah, pretty close. A little more. Probably like 5 more hits. Okay, that was only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not enough.
Man.
3 more.
Is it level?
Yeah, it looks pretty level to me.
Yeah, it'll go.
Just gonna force it.
Well, it won't be forcing. It'll go.
Get some RTV.
Yeah, this is 518. This is anaerobic. Hopefully this isn't set up.
Now for this part, you want to stand on your head. We can put it over there, and I can do it on the ground where it was.
Okay.
It's not a light pan. It's not. It's quite heavy.
Well, you want to just do it on here?
Well, I can do it right here. Which way is this? Is there? Can you go either way? There's one side that's smooth and one side that's not.
No.
Put the smooth side towards the engine. Do you want to hold it from the bottom? This thing.
Thanks, Clark. It's hitting the pickup. Let me put some clay. Where's my little container with the clay? It's yeah, let's put it on the pan. Just a little strip of this. Is that it there?
Yeah, it should be right here.
Okay, so guys, you gotta check this. It should not hit. It should be designed in such a way that you can just put it on, because most of you guys don't have the tooling to screw with this misfit stuff. So with these studs though, this makes it easy to at least try it on there. You just kind of push it straight on and then see where the mark is and then pull it off. That's good. As long as the things don't fall off. Like they did. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we know it's those two. All right, let me mark it. It's two of them are hitting.
Yeah.
And it's about here. You can't machine it on the mill because this is not flat on the bottom. It's just cattywampus. Let me look. Let's see. Nah, I guess it's half-ass flat.
We're going to machine this, and then it should fit, and we'll put it on, and we'll be groovy.
So you want to just take these two fins out. You need it about 1/4 inch off the pan.
You're going to be cutting it 3/4.
Yeah, 5/8, so that's to 7/8.
Grip it and rip it.
Mm-hmm. We just have to clean the gasket surface.
Yeah, I can have a bunch of shit all over it.
I'm gonna go bang it on this
Okay.
out here. Oh, and I got to get that thing out of there.
Does it fit?
Well, let's see.
Yes.
It fits. We have clearance, Clarence.
Really sucks though, because if you guys don't have, a mill and, end mills and everything in your shop, I don't know what you.
Then you got to die grind and whatever you got to do to. Yeah.
And that's going to take 45 minutes to do that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very annoying. Of course, now you have to clean off the surface because you didn't realize that it wasn't going to fit until you tried it. And then you tried it and it didn't fit. And you're like, ah, shit, I know, it's not that interesting. It's way over here, but it's not that
This is not interesting, no.
Oh man, if you guys could see this, you'd be very impressed, but you're not facing the right direction.
Oh, except to get away from me.
Well, if you guys could see this, you would be very happy. That's it.
You got it, huh?
Oh yeah. This is the shape you want. This is the shape you need. It's on, guys.
So
you missed it.
This is why you use studs on this. I don't know what you guys do. I guess you build them upside down or you lay on your back under the car.
Yeah, whatever.
And do that.
But if you put on the bell housing like this, which is a good way to do it, and you use the studs.
This is the paper gasket. I don't know if it's going to seal.
That's a great thing to say.
Should we use the paper?
Yeah, it's on there now, so let's use it. And if it doesn't seal,
I don't want to pull it off.
Fills it with oil, then we'll have to pull it off.
I don't want to pull it off over there because it's just an absolute friggin' total mess.
Why is it a total mess?
Because it's oil everywhere. Oil's running on the on the surface. Just constant oil mess. I wonder if we ought to change it and just do the other one.
Do you have?
Because we're not. Yeah.
Well, why did we put the paper on in the first place?
I don't know. It was in the box.
Okay, let's take it all off then.
And we didn't ruin anything. Yeah, we might have to change the bolts out because these bolts are actually for the paper gasket. I swear to God, I think the only way you're supposed to use this is if you glop it up with silicone. And I am not a silicone
glopper
guy in any, no.
You don't glop silicone?
Mm-mm.
You should try it sometime. It's also extend the, or increase the distance between this than this guy.
Yeah, not by much, but
Yeah,
it would give us what we
another
need.
millimeter or something. Do you even want this paper gasket? Just
No.
tear it up, throw it away.
Throw it away. Not worth anything.
It's not worth the paper it's cut on.
Yeah, that I should have looked at that and thought about it, but
Those go through?
yeah.
Really? So those seal on the inside of there?
How's the pan look? Copacetic as far as schmutzability?
Yeah, schmutzy.
It does look, okay.
Copacetic as far as schmutzability. That's a really good. That's a really good saying.
What in the hell are you saying?
Yeah. Yeah, copacetic. There was something you said in another video that I was talking to somebody and they didn't know what you meant. I went, oh yeah. I forgot that we have these weird little sayings. You have these weird little sayings. I feel like a lot of the weird little details you have to deal with on Corvairs is just because the parts aren't readily available and the only suppliers are kind of crummy in terms of what they give you. Like Clark's really isn't that great. They have most stuff, but a lot of it's just not.
It's just done to a point and then it's kind of left.
Yeah, it's kind of half-assed. The whole thing's half-assed.
Yeah.
So like the fact that this pan doesn't fit with that pickup.
Yeah,
what are you
with
thinking?
the gasket they supply.
With the gasket they supply. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. What do they
hell?
actually suspect or expect
The
customers
average,
to do
I mean,
in that
you know,
case?
we can deal with it. We've got
Yeah.
a mill. We
Yeah,
can
if somebody
screw
had to
around.
have a die grinder or a cutoff wheel on a die grinder or an angle grinder or get in there somehow. Or if you didn't have any of that, you'd wind up taking it to a machine shop somewhere
Yeah.
in your area, if you have one, and say, hey, I need this ground out. But then you got to actually be able to tell them exactly how much to grind out.
Yep.
And if you don't know, hopefully they get it right the first time.
Yeah. A lot of little tiny details that you shouldn't have to deal with, but you end up having to deal with because it's all kind of a hodgepodge. Mm-hmm. If this was like an LS or some V8, you could probably find exactly all the right parts that you need to fit. Mm-hmm. Unless you were making some
they'd
kind
fit.
of Frankenstein thing.
And then
with a
you
bunch of
got to
random
expect,
parts.
you're going to expect that you got to mess with every single thing to get it really right. And that's understandable in that case.
But if you're
And some of
if
the
you're
stuff that we
buying-
do where we actually design a component and build, and
yeah,
I mean, we expect there to be issues.
yeah,
I mean, it's just what it is, and you want to try to prototype it to a working point, and then you know what you're dealing with. 3D printing is really good for that because you can print something and try it on.
yeah.
The casting we're starting to do is going to be helpful in that case because we can cast a one of something, whatever we're doing, and see the fit.
Yeah.
Instead of machining it on the lathe or mill, or worse than that, sending it out to have it CNC'd because we have a step file that we've created. And if we had a CNC, we'd just throw some metal at it and turn it on here, but we don't have that.
Would be nice.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah.
If one of these companies that are not sponsoring us decide to sponsor us with these videos, maybe. On these two fittings, you guys can probably see these points. This is the drain I got here. I don't like the copper washer. I'm going to do aluminum because it's got a little better crushability. This is a quarter pipe tap with an eighth pipe tap, adapter to an adapter. But this is for an oil temperature gauge if you want. I prefer drilling and tapping this for an oil temperature gauge because it's up out of the way. It's covered by the shield and you can't ever knock it off. This you can conceivably back into something and knock it off.
80 inch-pounds. Little baby guy. Very cute. Should do it in
Was Merle Hardy there?
star pattern.
No, just go around them. The drain is in a great place. It makes it very easy to drain. That's the one nice thing about that pen. The fact that nothing fits is not the good thing, but what this really needs is a status seal. Should I get a status seal out or just aluminum washer?
What's the status seal? Tells you the status of the seal all the time? How does that work?
Status seal is
Is it an electronic?
no, it's not static seal.
No, status.
Stato seal.
I thought it was status. Like it tells you the status of the seal.
It might.
You have your phone. You pull your phone out and go, oh, yep, my seal's looking good on my oil pan. Stat-O-Seal. Rubber. It's got a rubber center thing.
Yeah. So anyway, this, instead of a crushing washer, this is a steel with the molded in rubber insert. So that is way better, folks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Little magnet there because it picks up everything. What do you mean?
Look how that fits. What size is that?
Metric.
14 millimeter is what it actually is.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what it is.
Why is it 14?
Yeah.
Because they're assholes. That's why.
That's it.
Because they're assholes.
Bottom line. We still need to sandblast the pulley
Yeah.
and the rear mount
The pulley's got some
and
rust
the
on
skid
it.
plate
Yeah.
and paint it. And then the pulley goes on, and then the skid plate and the mount, and these get torqued to 20. Don't torque these to 35 like the book says, because you're going to cut the gasket. Everything up here is 18. You do these to 30, you've just ruined your gasket because it's all, this whole pieces need to be evenly torqued, not massively torqued here. So 20 on these, lock washer under those nuts. I think that's what we can do today.
I'm not really sure where this comes in the running of all the videos, but you know, we did a thing.
We did a thing, and then a thing got done, and we'll do more things.
All right, guys, that's the engine done. I think it looks pretty good. We did a couple things off camera. We put on the blower housing. We also replaced the blower housing bearing and the idler bearing, as you can see on the top there. And everything's installed now, and the engine is ready to go off to the customer. So I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll be doing a video on starting up the engine as well, and we will make sure you guys get to see how it runs and how it performs, you know, what the oil pressure is with those bearings. And so that should be pretty cool. Thanks for watching this whole series if you stuck around the whole time. I think it should be pretty interesting. We'll probably do a cut down version of everything, one full length video, so you can watch the whole build pretty easily. And so, yeah, thanks for watching and have a good one.